right? And so we're going to do, is that everybody?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was good.
so we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive um, with this aspect of the three brains. And so you can still use the Shibumi, but you could also, like, I think we have some people jumping on or no? Yeah. So you can use things like, let me look here. I mean, there's a bunch of things we could use, but if we want to keep it um, some form of sage, um, mugwort, artemisia, um, I mean, you could even throw Chakral root cleanser in there. Let's see what you have like with that. And if we need some other choices, I mean, hyssop could work too, but like kind of wanting to take it a little deeper into some certain aspects. What are we doing with that?
Yeah, no one's in here.
Okay. So, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Linda. We've gone through and we worked the four quadrants and we worked the Ori program. And so we're going to do this little play with the three brains. We're going to work the three brain pattern, but we're going to deepen the effect of the working the org program, right? And so whatever oil you're using, if you were just doing the org programming practice with us, then you're going to continue with your Shibumi unless you feel the need to change. But now visualize that ball of light. Visualize yourself completely surrounded by a ball of light. In front of you, behind you, on the left side, the right side, above you, and below you. You're visualizing the ball of light and you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your oil. You're still visualizing the ball of light. And then just let go. Just let it all go. Now be aware of your body. Where do you feel something, anything in your body? An agitation, a heaviness, a tension, wherever that is, just observe it in your body. You're inhaling the oil with your awareness on that area in your body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then let it go for a moment. Just pause and let it go. Now, visualize the ball of light again. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're visualizing the ball of light. You're completely surrounded by a ball of light. And then just pause and be still. Just observe your body, your emotions, your thoughts. Just notice how you feel. How's that feel to you? Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so we're going to do a little experiment, which is what the night is about, right? Doing a little bit of a deeper dive. We just came off of doing the ORIC program, and we're working the three brains, which is tied to processing, which is also tied to the ball of light around us. We played with the ball of light. Let's just tap into the standard approach again and do the four quadrants again, and then go back to the ball of light. So let's just see what we can do with this ball of light. So whatever oil you're using, your awareness is on the left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. The front side of your body, your face, throat, chest, abdomen, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. The right side of your body, right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. side of the body. Whole back side, back of the head, neck, down your whole back, your hips, down the backs of the legs to the heels. Whole back side of the body. And then just pause and be still. Just let it go, let it incubate. Now, again, visualize the ball of light. You're doing the whole ball of light around you, front and back, left and right, above and below. You're visualizing the ball of light. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Visualizing the ball of light. And then just pause and let it go. Just let it go. How was the ball of light for you when you did that? Mm. Okay, we're going to do the three brain. We're going to do the pattern of the three brains. Okay, so you're going to begin inhaling. You're using the same oil. Your awareness is on the sex chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the sex chakra. Move your awareness to the low back, the back side of the navel. The front solar plexus, that area below your ribs on your upper abdomen. The back part. Your awareness is on the back part. Brain. Your awareness is on the brain. and then the crown, the top of your head. And then just let go. Just let it incubate. Okay, so this is what I would say. Like, you go through and we do the ball of light and, we kind of cleaned it up and made it stronger, even with doing the quadrants. Then we did the three brain. You're actively processing. You have movement in the mental body, the emotional body, and the instinctive responses, which is your physical body, right? So now I would say go to any sort of area of healing within you or some situation, past event, person, and then just sit and observe. And you don't need to make anything happen. The juices are already flowing, right? So now pay attention to something where you want healing and just observe, like direct the process to whatever that is. Could be, hey, I have a bad knee or a bad back, or that jerk at work, or how do I handle this situation? Whatever it is. How do I let go of this thing from the past? No, you're no need to inhale right now. You're just sitting there being still and you're just observing. You're still just observing. Now, you really can't see it, but what's happening as you sit and observe, because you're processing, your spiritual cord is increasing and your body is filling with light. The ball of light is actually forming without you even having to do anything. You're just observing something. And remember, when the ball of light is happening, you're improving vagal tone, you're decreasing dysregulation in the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight flight. So a lot of times when we're looking at this person or this past event, this situation, this area of healing, it's in repetition. There's some sort of dysregulation that's there, and or poor vagal tone. So you go through, you unwind the auric program, you visualize the ball of light, you do the three brains, and then you just go, that's what I want to heal. And it starts calming down the dysregulation, starts improving the vagal tone, starts filling the aura with light, which means more movement. It keeps going deeper and deeper. So let's just do a little tiny bit more, and then we'll talk it out, and then we'll do some more. So all you're doing right now is you're just putting your awareness on the area that you wish for healing. You're just observing. Right. Do you mind sharing right off the bat? Okay, we're going to do shares and questions for a little bit before we do a little bit more. Let's go ahead and have you do a little share.
No, that's fine. And so right at the end here, as I'm just being aware, like my body's relaxing more and more, the sharp pain that I've been feeling is dissolving. And I feel like I'm like
The body's going out of dysregulation.
yeah.
Like your body's like going, okay, we can put our guard down and we can repair a little bit. And yeah, because like that's the thing is, when we think of like stress and stuff, it's most of it's mechanical stress. It's dysregulation in the body. We have poor vagal tone, which means we're not able to go on rest and repair. And then the body is in repetition, that it's really like engaged, and that is a form of fight flight. Anything fight flight, It's repetitive. It's just looping around, loop, 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 loop. Yeah. And so you're breaking out of that loop, you're breaking out of that repetition, and the body is actually able to process something. And so when we have chronic health issues, or we have an area where it's just like, oh, it's just not getting better, it's in a loop. It's in fight flight. It's in a sympathetic nervous system dysregulation. Fight flight doesn't really do it that much justice, because we still think of like, well, nobody scared me, nobody agitated me, like everything around me is fine. It's dysregulation. The nervous system is firing as if, a Bigfoot is standing in front of you or something. Right? I had to throw in Bigfoot. So let's go ahead and do shares and questions.
I just want to add one more thing as we sit here. My sinuses, one nostril was completely like blocked, and now I can breathe out.
And you can breathe out
like,
of it,
and
right?
that wasn't even what I was putting my awareness on.
Right. Because you're doing like your back or something, right? Yeah.
Someone shared, what I'm working on healing is a deep emotional wound from years ago. I just touched into a deep sorrow that I haven't been able to see or observe before.
Good for you. Because like that's, I mean, I think that's a beautiful thing. You're tapping into something and moving through something, because your nervous system still thinks that situation's happening, and part of how we try to manage it from the nervous system's point of view is like, okay, it's still happening, let's isolate it so that we can still function, let's push it over there so we're not really that super aware of it. That's why it's like hard to touch sometimes, is our our mind and our nervous system will start to put things in compartments so that we don't really necessarily deal with it, because we got to get through whatever we're getting through. And so it's affecting us, and it still feels like it's happening, but it's also hard to access, which is very paradoxical. Like, if I can't access it, how is it still affecting me? But it's because it's almost like there's a little shield or this little barrier between you and that issue. And so you're breaking that loop so that you can release that situation and you don't have to sit in that cage anymore. Yeah, good for you. Super good for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Linda.
Hee.
Yeah, so that was actually my share just now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and what I'm experiencing right now is I'm noticing that there's a real big fear. You were talking about compartmentalizing it.
Mhm.
There's a part of me that's afraid to go into it because I'm afraid I'll never come out of that sorrow.
Right. We'll get stuck in the gravity.
But I feel
Yeah.
like that's exactly where I already am. I'm so trapped in the sorrow,
Right.
even though I put it aside all the time.
Yeah.
There's like this whole paradox going on.
Right. So that's also a little bit of like, how we do it with the heart, and like we were kind of talking about it with the brain over the weekend, where you go little movements, like you'll start to feel like a little bit of a pushback. And so, there we're doing it with our energy body and our physical body, where, you start going inward in the heart. And like, at first you go, well, I'll just go all the way in. But like when you start going slow, you can feel like little movement. And then the body goes, slow down there, turbo. And then you go, and then you go a little bit more. And then it's like, and then it relaxes. And so we can feel it in the body, we can feel it in the brain, we can feel it in those different areas. That situation is doing the same thing. It's doing the same exact thing. You start to go there. I have a few situations that I still visit where I go, yeah, they feel pretty done. I'll even look at my energy field, they feel done. But it's still like I get so far, and then they're like, let's think about it for a while, and so your reaction is very normal. And not only is it normal, I would say you can depend that you're doing it on some level or some degree. We all do it. And so if we know that we do it, instead of trying to fight it or override it, we just go, okay, little bit, I'll back off. Little bit, okay, I'll just stay here. Little bit, and you just kind of lean into it. You just start doing these little movements, and then let something acclimate. And then at some point you keep going a little deeper and a little deeper, and it might be a bunch of little movements, or might be some little movements, and then a big, let's just get this over with. But it's like your nervous system and your body will just go, okay, I think we can handle this. Like, you don't even have to decide. It's almost like just like soothing the body as you take the steps. And if it starts to feel a little too intense, I say stop. Just like, okay, that's enough. Like, we're good for today. And just let everything kind of process and acclimate. And then you can go a little bit further. And so, here we're talking about a traumatic event, but what if it was like, okay, I have this new project at work, I have this goal, it's actually kind of positive. Same thing happens. You'll start to move towards it, and then start to move towards it, and then and so it's not always about negative things. It's kind of how we just do this push and pull of the two sides of the nervous system with everything. Like, it's with everything. In fact, like, when I was traveling with the medicine man, they were doing sun dance. They're dancing around the tree of life, and they would be attached, with a little like rope or something, and they'd go 4 days with food and very little water. And when they were doing their personal process with the tree, they'd dance towards the tree, they'd back up, they'd dance towards the tree, they'd back up. And you're almost waiting for this inspired act to happen. So it's not something you plan, it's not something you go, oh, this is what I'm going to do when I'm ready. It's just this like inspired action, just something comes out at some point, but you just kind of keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then something truly spontaneous happens. And I would say that's the part of healing that most people don't get. It's this like movement back and forth until there's some spontaneous act that then it's an inspired act that then something shifts and changes, and you're in a different place. It's like you all of a sudden are teleported to this, like, better house or better park, or whatever it is, and things all of a sudden are different.
Okay, well, that's very encouraging.
Good girl.
Thank
So,
you.
like, be soft and gentle. Like, don't feel the need to, like, I'm gonna double down and do it. Trust me, I've done it. It always sucks.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know that it's any more effective, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Before we did that part of the process, though, the other processes before that, the ball of light got to a point for me of being so much more well defined than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
And it had a texture to it that I
Yeah.
could only think of to describe as handmade pure white paper.
Oh, nice.
It
Yeah.
had that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. So I started to feel like invincible, which is probably why I decided I could go look at this issue.
Yeah. Hey, whatever it takes. Because if you think about even the idea of protection, yeah, we want to keep stuff out from other people, but really protection is the body feeling safe enough that stuff like this can happen. Like that's why to do protective practices is like, if the body feels like, okay, this is kind of a safe space, let's go a little bit deeper into this dysregulation and regulate it. Because it's this regulation is really interesting, because it's like a fixation of trying to prevent something from bad happening, or something bad feels like it's happening. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like, if I put my guard down, I don't know, I don't feel safe. I don't feel like it's okay. Like I need to be aware so that I can take some sort of action. And, you know, that's why going slowly is such a good thing, because if you just take that away and the rest of you hasn't caught up, the rest of you, when you take that away and you just go, oh, let's calm it all down, there's a part of you that goes, are you nuts? Did you not hear that there's another shoe about to drop, or something bad's going to happen? And so it keeps letting, like, your physiology and the emotions in each of the systems and how your nervous system kind of interacts and everything. It just keeps letting everything like integrate. And you know, it kind of is like, okay, well, we've assimilated this. We can maybe go off red alert and go down to orange alert. And then, you know, you keep going down and down. And then pretty soon you're like, you know, it's been a long time since I've been in red alert. You know, it's been a while.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
almost like you, it sounds weird, but it's almost like you have to slip it in the back door. Like if you try to go in through the front door, the body is like, no, no, because the guard's up. So, but like if you think like you know, when I was growing up, people that you knew or neighbors or something, you know, family member came over, they would park the car in the back and they just walk in the back door. They wouldn't even knock. They would just kind of come in. And, you know, that's the way this kind of healing feels, is like when everything feels okay, you just like, oh yeah, just open the door and come on in, you know. But when the guard is up, you just have to keep being like, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Now, something you said a little earlier, it felt like that's what was happening. So you said something like your spiritual cord's getting bigger.
Mhm.
That's what it felt like. As the ball of light gets, we work on the ball of light, I guess. Does the spiritual cord automatically get bigger, or is it more in like these, like in the stop, be quiet?
So the spiritual cord, good question. So spiritual cord and the ball of light will start getting stronger when you like visualize, or you're putting your awareness on the ball of light and then you let it go. It's like the back and forth, just like how I was talking about it with Linda. It's like you're visualizing and you let it go. You visualize it, you let it go, and then we magnified it by doing the three brains. Like the three brains then accelerates the ball of light so that you're processing more, so more light comes in, and the light is light with consciousness, so it's usually going to areas that are lacking light, where there's some sort of blockage or something. And like, you know, you're a good example. You're focusing on your back and then you go, and my back feels better and my sinuses opened. Like you weren't working on your sinuses, but the light came in and went to areas where there's blockages. And so that's also the beautiful thing about working with the ball and, you know, purifying the work program and everything like that. And you could even throw angels into the mix. Is energy with consciousness goes to the areas that you're directing, where you're aware of, but it also goes to areas that they're in your unconscious. You're not aware that, like, hey, something's going on here, or you might be aware of it but you're not really paying attention to it. And so it's shifting things that you're aware of and not aware of, both at the same time.
Because I did notice I felt the most when we stopped, when we
Right.
were still.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, now I'm I guess aware of what was
Right.
happening.
Because like if you think of it, like if you really think this out, like, you know, there's all these different angles and there's all these different facets, and you go, okay, I'm breaking the body out of a repetition, right? So, you know, on one level you go, okay, I'm sitting, I'm being aware of my body. And as I'm concentrating on my body, my body, my mind, my nervous system shifts from sympathetic nervous system activity, which is the repetition, to like more of an expanded state, more of an intuitive state. But what you're also doing is you're also doing a form of repetition. Like you're going, okay, I'm thinking about my body, I'm thinking about my body, I'm thinking about my body, I'm thinking about my body. And so you're overriding the loop so that now you have a pattern that you're in control of. And then you go, okay, that loop is starting to dissipate. I'm holding a pattern. Now I let go. And then boom, the light comes in. Like the spontaneous act comes in. If you try to shove the spontaneous act into the loop of the body, some might get in, but then it's going to tighten up even more and push back even more. So you almost have this like loop of your making come in and displace the loop where you have like a surrogate loop. And then once it's displaced, you go, now let go.
Well, and like you said, not all loops are bad. So,
Right. Right. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think this turned into one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think
It's
we,
kind of interesting and fun. The whole idea of the nervous system, it's starting to get to a place where it's so flippin' exciting for me. Yeah. Anyway. I don't have a lot of people I can talk about with stuff like this. You guys are, even other therapist friends, it's there's been a handful over the years, but not many. So anyway, anybody else have a share or question?
uh, not that they're taking in
Okay.
a little bit
How,
more.
how about we'll do just a little tiny bit more? Okay. So visualize the ball of light. Your awareness is on the ball of light. You're inhaling with your awareness on the ball of light. And pause and let it go. Now we're going to do a quick 3 brains. Awareness on the sex chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The low back, the backside of the navel. Solar plexus, area below your ribs on your upper abdomen. Back heart, your awareness is on the back heart. The brain, your awareness is on the brain. The top of your head, the crown. Just let go. Okay, so I prepped you for coming right over to the prayer petition blessing, and we can just slip right into that and go deeper with our process. So hopefully you can join us. And remember, tomorrow night we're going to do a form of this, but with the respiratory system. So hopefully you can join us.